Arrow Video brings 2001's arguably most outrageous Friday the 13th sequel, Jason X, to 4K and maybe Blu-ray as well. Definitely 4K. What I'm reviewing here is the 4K UHD HDR edition of 2001's Jason X, directed by James Isaac, sorry, I'm messing up left and right, with Kane Hodder, Lexa Doig, and David Cronenberg. And if I mispronounced any of those names, rack it up to the spell check on my phone wanting to make me look dumber than I already am. So this is presented film runs 92 minutes. I get choked up when I talk about Jason X. It is presented in English 5.1, English 2.0, English SDH optional subtitles. There is a 43-second Kane Hodder interview and a lot more extras that we will get into. So I first saw Jason X on the New Line DVD when it came out. The film came and went relatively quickly. It seemed like a stupid idea. I was never really a fan of the Friday the 13th movies. I've seen them all. I saw a couple here and there. I saw Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, when it came out, and I was laughing my way through the whole thing. I thought it was thoroughly entertaining and just silly as hell. I saw Jason Goes to Hell, which would have been the next film, Part 9, if you will, and I saw that on video, and I thought it was awful. And see my review elsewhere for Jason Goes to Hell, my thorough my thorough review of Jason Goes to Hell is available elsewhere. And at the same time Jason Goes to Hell was released by Arrow, they also put out Jason X, the first two of the New Line Jason films. And I was like, this is a stupid idea, but what the heck? I don't care about these movies that much anyway. And when I first watched it on DVD, I thought it was really fun. I really liked it. And it has one kill that is one of the most iconic kills in film history. Let's just say liquid nitrogen. And I think that overpowered any other memory I had of the film. So I work at the Mahoney Drive-In Theater in Lehighton, Pennsylvania, and Exhumed Films every year puts on this thing called Camp Blood. And part of that is outdoor slasher movies, camp themed. Really the core of it is Friday the 13th, but it's usually a lot of other stuff. Well, one year, I think it might have been last year, they ran every Friday the 13th movie minus the remake straight through over the course of 4 days. And I said, I'm going to watch them all and see what I think. And I got to Jason X and I was like, this is terrible. This is awful. And this disc showed up from Arrow for me to review it. And I was like, I just watched this and it wasn't good. But I do my duty. You send me a disc, I'm going to review it. So I sat down and I watched it again. And this time I thought it was terrible. I really didn't like this movie. I know it was intended to be fun and silly. And what else can you do with the character? And my answer is always, put him in the woods with a bunch of teenagers, have him kill people in interesting ways. But so the deal here is this. Jason Voorhees, as the film opens, not going to tell you the whole story. As the film opens, Jason Voorhees has been captured. It is in some Crystal Lake research facility in the slight future. And he's like chained and somehow preserved, let's say. And maybe he's frozen. They freeze him, something like that. I don't know. Something happens and flash forward a lot of years. I don't remember all the stories, so I can't tell you the whole story. Flash forward like 1,000 years or something, or several hundred years, and the Earth is a barren planet, and these space scavengers come down to the surface, and they find that research facility, and they find the frozen Jason and this frozen female scientist who was, maybe she was going to oversee his transfer at the time or something like that, and they bring him up to their ship. And wouldn't you know it, somehow Jason becomes unfrozen. They unfreeze the woman, and she's like, yeah, he's terrible. You got to keep him frozen. So he gets unfrozen. So then you have Jason in space killing people on a spaceship. The film really plays like an episode of a 90s or early 2000s Sci-Fi Channel episode. I never watched Farscape, and this is not to say, or Lex, and this is nothing against people who love those, but it just feels like a very budget Canadian-made Sci-Fi Channel TV series episode. Like, the acting is not good. The effects are pretty good for what they are. They're still practical effects at that point. There's some CGI that's doesn't age well, because CGI from that era never does. I say CGI from most eras doesn't age well down the road. And it's just Jason stalking and slashing people on a spaceship. And there's an android on this spaceship that at some point they give an upgrade, and she's like all matrixy and kung fu and guns, and it's just stupid. The whole thing is played pretty much as a comedy, which I don't know how else you would play it really, but I just thought it was not good. Now, some people love this. Some people love this one. Some people love all of these. Some people love Jason Goes to Hell, and that's cool. If you like that, then this is a really nice addition. These were previously put out by Scream Factory, and I think most of the extras have been ported over. I don't know. We'll see as we go. If in my notes, I have notes as to what's new extras, but if you're a fan and you have the previous edition, you should be able to listen to this or look it up. If you're watching this on YouTube, look at the link under the video, and that will be a link to Amazon where you can go and look up the specs and see if you can tell if you already have all this stuff or not. So, yeah, it's silly. It looks relatively cheap. It's a ridiculous concept. It's got one or two good kills, but mostly it's just, to me, it was a lot of spending time with uninteresting characters and situations while we just wait for people to get killed. So, special features. You have a commentary with film historians Michael Felsher and Steve Barton, aka Uncle Creepy from Dread Central. You get a commentary with writer Todd Farmer and author Peter Brack. You get a commentary with director Jim Isaac, Todd Farmer, and Noel Cunningham. You get Scoring the Stars, an interview with composer Harry Manfredini that's 10 minutes long. You get Out of Space, not the Billy Preston song. You get The Making of Jason X, that's 33 minutes. That's from the Scream Factory release. In Space, No One Can Hear You Scream. It's an interview with writer Todd Farmer. That's 23 minutes from the Scream Factory release. I guess I did note that. You get Christy is a Headbanger, interview with actress Christy Angus. She's the person who involved with liquid nitrogen. That's 11 minutes. That's from the Scream Factory release. Jason Rebooted, interview with Sean S. Cunningham about Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X. It's very interesting. That is 15 minutes, and that's from the Scream Factory release. He really gets into why he was cool with those movies going so far afield from what the series had before. The Many Lives of Jason Voorhees. This is a documentary on the history of the character. It's a half hour. This is from the original New Line DVD release, and it has people including but not limited to Joe Bob Briggs, David Delval, Mark Borchardt, and Mike Schenk, Tony Timpone, filmmakers, and more, and it was made around the time of Jason X. By Any Means Necessary, The Making of Jason X, that was from the New Line DVD. That's 17 minutes. Cast and crew interviews, 52 minutes. 4x3 of on-set interviews for the EPK, the electronic press kit, which would be sent out to journalists or to TV stations that they could pull clips from and stuff. You get behind-the-scenes footage, 57 minutes of 4x3 shot on video. You are there on the set behind-the-scenes footage. You get the electronic press kit, which is 4x3 again presentation, 25 minutes long. It includes all the slates on screen saying, Kane Hodder interview, and in quotes, Mushman makeup, whatever. And plus behind the scenes and on-set interview stuff. You get 3 variants of the trailer that's run 6 minutes total. You get 3 minutes of TV spots, 6 total. The last few are pretty fuzzy YouTube quality, which is unfortunate. You get a stills gallery that is 269 images. It's full, it's thorough. And you get a poster and behind the scenes gallery that's 58 images. So it's all that plus the packaging, the crazy deluxe packaging that Arrow always does. When I get the review copies, I don't get the deluxe packaging. The stuff I get looks like this. That's why for Arrow, I never show you the packaging, but just trust if I'm talking about an Arrow release, there's a booklet, there's a cool cover, there might be a poster, there might be lobby cards, who knows what else is in there. They really load up a lot of the releases. So available now on 4K UHD for those who dare to dream of Jason in space is Jason X.